Hey guys, another video from the Anti-Nerd here, and today I'm bringing Wolverine vs Silver Samurai 2-pack Gameverse Marvel Legends. This line that it's called Gameverse, but we all know it is actually a reference to the Marvel vs Capcom games. So without further ado, let's take a look at this most anticipated, one of the most anticipated 2-packs Marvel Legends of the year, mostly because of Wolverine. Finally, we got a super ultra beefy Wolverine. So the package, we all know how it looks like because this is the third 2-pack that we've been getting. I already reviewed Omega Red and Silver Samurai, and also Psylocke versus Thanos. So my favorite parts are the pixelated arts, as you guys know. Here's Silver Samurai. Here's Wolverine on the side, very cool. Here's the back of the packaging, looks pretty cool if you want to pause it and read the description. So I already removed Wolverine because I'm gonna start with him. That's the figure most people want to see, and let's leave that for a couple minutes, okay? So here's Wolverine. He's quite impressive. I am very happy with this figure. My first impressions are pretty good. I think there's a lot of content on the internet, so I'm gonna try to be very objective and short with my review, and I'm gonna say the parts that in my head they highlighted the most. Okay, so first I think they went for aesthetics over articulation, although I think the new system of articulation they come up in this entirely new body mode of Wolverine is actually pretty good. However, there is some imperfections, like here you can see that the head has this cut, but he reaches this quite quickly. He looks up right away, so quite impressive. Of course, he's a very much exaggerated portrait of Wolverine. I'm very happy with this because I think this one actually looks like the animal Wolverine. Look at the ears of the boots as well. They are quite exaggerated. And it's hard not to compare him with Wolverine 97, which is right here. But let's compare in a second, okay? So, okay, the legs, they are great. Okay, they are great. This is a quality Wolverine. This is like a Wolverine that went to the gym and actually stayed there for a little bit. The claws are huge. There's no double elbow in the arm, but I think the aesthetic looks great. The only thing, he cannot scratch his face quite easily, but if you bend a little bit the fist over here, he can reach. So there's no problem with that. He can definitely do what you would expect from articulation in the arm. Okay, so very cool. The hair looks great, but the torso is where it shines because there's this system that's been used a lot in Japanese figures. Look at the range. Look at the range on the side, and it looks clean. It looks super clean. So he can crunch a lot, as you guys probably know on the pictures. But he has double rotation here because the wrist rotates and the torso rotates. But the torso has a ball joint that goes a lot. So it is quite impressive. This Wolverine figure. It's more impressive than I would expect in hands. And the aesthetic looks great, the yellow looks great. Only thing, he doesn't come with an extra head. That would say it's a major complaint, because all the figures that I've noticed, except for Omega Red and War Machine, usually the hero has two heads, like Captain America and Psylocke, but apparently those 2-packs, the Wolverine and the War Machine, they do not come. So neither of the characters come with an extra head. So there's some stuff I cannot quite comment without comparing to Wolverine 97. So let's take a look at Wolverine 97, right? Side to side, you can see that the size it's so much different. Look at the claws. The claws, they are considerably bigger. The tones of blue are very similar, but they are not the same. This one on the right definitely looks more blue. It made the 97 look like a kid's toy. And right here, the torso, it looks cheap, man. And the aesthetics are not great compared to all the range you get on this one right here, which I showed is impressive, because here on the waist you can see that it inclines a little bit, which makes the range so crazy, right? Let's take a look at the legs. Look at this. Look how skinny the 97 is compared. Look at the ears on the boots. Size of the feet. Everything about this new one is bigger. The feet is not that big, it's just slightly bigger. But the articulation of the torso is insanely better. And I think the head sculpt captures more the essence of Wolverine. The eyes squinting, the mouth. But it isn't a fair comparison because the 97 doesn't come with an angry head. So let's take a look at the VHS Wolverine, which was my favorite for a while, but now just feels really outdated. Look at the head sculpt. This guy doesn't stand a chance against the new Wolverine in terms of head sculpt, in terms of articulation, in terms of aesthetics. Shading is nice, but this is totally pinless. It is super articulated. And look at the arms. Like, this has no hair effect, it's barely noticeable, while this has a comic book, has a more comic book feel, the hair to it. So very cool. Seems that someone draw on it. So comparing again with the 97, here's the tones of blue that I was mentioning. Here's the blue on the VHS, way different. Here's the arms. As you can see, the 97 does have some more hair effect compared to the VHS, but still doesn't look as good as the new one. The new one outstands by everything. Here's Wolverine in his crouching pose that a lot of people were excited about. Yes, it does remind a lot of the game. He does perfect crouching pose that looks very menacing. So I would say this is looking like the best Wolverine action figure ever made. Also, there's another thing that I noticed. It is the shoulders. Look at how the 97 is attached. Has a little pin here on the back and in the front. But the new one, it is more smart because it doesn't detach from him. And it comes from up and there's no hole on his arm. So I think the arm, they totally went with statics over articulation, but I do think that the articulation is still pretty good without the double joint. Also, the claws are removable here. Like, you see? I want to try this 97 head on the new one. I would say this Extreme X-Men from the Nemesis wave, I think it's the best Wolverine you can get for 25 bucks. Because look at the arm. It is pretty good. There is a painting, very subtle. And it looks great, and looks even better than the 97 because now the definitive yellow stripes is the new one, not the 97. So let's try the 97 head on this buck. Well, it does look a little small, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. So, I don't know. There's probably better Wolverine heads for you to try. But it does look a little small in this super beefy body. Wolverine Extreme with the new head, and not the greatest. Wolverine 97 head in the new buck looks awful, looks too small. Okay, so let's bring some other figures here for comparison. Here's Thanos from the Gameverse line. Here's Cable. I think this Cable, although it was before the announcement of the Gameverse, he just looks so much like the game. Here's Wolverine and Punisher. What do you guys think about the new Punisher announcement of the Gameverse line? Are you planning to get it? I'm for sure gonna get it, but I think this one looks better. Wolverine with 97 Rogue, which I got recently, but I didn't review it because I know it's an older figure, it's just a re-release from Target. I got this VHS Cyclops recently, and I gotta say, this one looks way better than the 97 in my opinion. The head sculpt is top notch. And they look great together. They absolutely kill it together. This Wolverine will look amazing in your comic book or even your animated display. Wolverine with Storm. I know this is a little outdated, but I think the shading on this one looks great. Wolverine with Jean Grey, VHS. Wolverine with X Factor Cyclops. Pretty dope. Love this Cyclops. Wolverine with Colossus. I think we're gonna get a new Colossus pretty soon. The Astonishing Colossus. It's probably gonna come with a 2-pack with Kitty Pryde and her dragon, I would expect. But you know what these guys do right now, right? Wolverine with Psylocke. The Psylocke looks great. One of the best figures of the year for sure. Here's Wolverine with my Maximum Spider-Man. I just put a backpack on him and he looks absolutely amazing. What you guys think? Okay, so now let's review Silver Samurai, which I know most people are not excited about it, but there's still some cool accessories to look, right? Alright, so here's the Wolverine effect pieces. So Wolverine comes with an extra set of hands without the claws, pretty cool. Okay, so here's the effect piece. You can do it like this, or you can do it like this. What it does matter is that now he can do some crazy power effect. So here's Silver Samurai with his power effect. All these power effects, they're supposed to be the move from the game, okay? So they use a certain move to defeat your enemy. Not too cool, but you know, better than nothing, I guess. I don't know what this is supposed to be like, but I assume it attaches to him. So very quickly, here's a look at Silver Samurai. I think his head sculpt look good. I don't have a problem with the figure, how it looks overall, but I notice there's always a figure that they've been spending less money on it, and this is definitely Silver Samurai, because he's not pinless here. Look at his legs. So I think he's pretty much a recycling of the retro one, but I don't have the retro to compare. Torso moves less. I don't even know if the waist is supposed to move, but he has this. But he has the ball joint here on the torso. There's not much to say about him. Like, he looks okay. He looks okay. Not a very posable figure though. So double elbows here. He does not have butterfly joints. His articulation in the leg is a little limited because of his outfit. But I gotta say, his legs, they feel kind of cheap. Like, doesn't feel the same standard as Wolverine right here. I don't know, there's something off. Something kind of cheap about it. I would say the head sculpt's cool, and the sword you can use in other characters, so there's that. Also a detail about him, he does not have butterfly, but he has, let's say, almost butterfly. As you can see here, he has an extra range here that I think is just supposed to help him with his rotation on the arm, but it's not a butterfly joint, or is it? I don't consider this a butterfly joint. So there's my review of the 2-pack Wolverine vs Samurai. I'm gonna give a grade 9 out of 10, of course, because Silver Samurai is not good. Wolverine is a 10 out of 10 figure, but Silver Samurai is definitely a 7 at least. But I know most people were getting this 2-pack because of Wolverine, and I think this Wolverine, it does deserve the price a little more than your average 25, now 30 bucks Marvel Legends. I think it's worth definitely like 40 bucks I would pay for this guy. But at the end of the day, you're paying 60. So not the greatest deal, but great figure. Amazing. You're gonna have a lot of fun with this Wolverine. He poses really well. He's a very dope figure, and keep in tune with the Anti-Nerd. There's a lot of reviews coming out, and bye bye.